Why did I start YouTube as a plumber? I started YouTube as a plumber because of these things. Because of these things. Because of these things. Because of these things. Those are all plumbing magazines and industry standard magazines, right? Which are in the plumbing industry, which I'm in. Which I've showed you I've been featured in articles since 2019 till today. And I thought to myself, you know what? I've been able to be successful on Instagram because that's where I started everything. And it got me a lot of business. You know, people would watch my videos. They're very informative. I try and make them be educational, and I try and show my level of skill, what I do know, right? So it led me on to thinking that YouTube is the biggest social media platform. Why don't I start trying my luck on YouTube? Because you never know. You only need a couple of videos to start taking off. And I actually watched YouTube as well, but I didn't think the audience was big. Yeah, I just didn't, because it's a niche thing which I do. Everybody doesn't want their sink, their tap or their toilet fixed. And at a point in my own personal life, I didn't think it was something what I wanted to show people I was doing every day, because that's what they're going to associate me with, just that. The articles are a lot different because they're speaking about some of my achievements and some of the contributions which I have had towards the plumbing industry in the UK, which I'm very thankful for. And I haven't picked up those magazines in a long time. And I just read through one or two of my articles just now, and I said, I've got a lot of things to be proud of. But I played it down and I thought, why would anybody else care? Which is totally wrong for me to do. And I've continued to showcase what I do on my platform and build, just constantly build. Nothing's happened for me overnight. I've not been a person who's made social media posts, then all of a sudden he got 1 million views. And I've been doing social media for probably coming up to 10 years now. But I've also worked within the industry. So I didn't really want people seeing my videos when I was at work. Oh, I saw your video, you know, like it was a bit like, I don't want to do that because I'm not comfortable with it. And there was a point that I didn't actually like hearing the sound of my voice. And the videos as well, I wanted them to be as crispy as possible, which I didn't have the money or the funds to be able to buy cameras, to be able to film mics, have a little setup. I just didn't have that in it because I was heavily invested within my tools and heavily invested within my time with just doing plumbing work and not actually filming it, just getting along with it. But I thought, there's a big part of life which I'm holding myself back from, which is experiences, connecting with other people and actually growing as a content creator. So I began my journey 9 years ago, starting a YouTube channel and then totally just putting it down because I thought I'm way out of my depth here with being comfortable on the screen. And while that was happening, I had started to get featured in adverts before this. So before all the magazines, I was featured as a plumber within an advert which is for a Google product, which is called a Nest Pro, yeah? One of the first, when they first started it, I was featured in that advert. I've actually got it on my page, but it's like content which, what I edit now, I look back at it and think it's hella grainy, it's not good quality, I don't think people are going to watch it. But it's a part of me. That's me when I first started. Didn't really have a beard, was a lot younger obviously, but it was just something which I just kind of put out and just didn't think about it. You know, I wasn't sure what to do. I didn't know how to make videos and allow people to tell them to subscribe, to interact with people. I wasn't doing that, you know, and that's a fault of my own. But I've grown up and I've learned lessons while watching it. I've realized what my community kind of needs. I've realized the strong points, what people want to hear me talk about. And I've been able to get like 250, 300 comments on one video. So I've kind of like opened up myself within confidence, within what I feel people want to see. And I've kind of tried to get better at every single video. Some of them I've been making videos and I've not even been looking at the camera. So even when I look back at it, it's like, that doesn't really make a lot of sense, because it doesn't seem like I'm even trying to have a conversation with people. I'm just doing something for the sake of it. And that's kind of bothered me over the years, but I've tried to get a lot better at it, which has been a process for me, you know. Content is not the first trade or the first thing what I do. Plumbing is working with my hands. And actually narrating over videos is something which I really enjoy. I've took pride in it. It's got me to a lot of places. I've been able to collab with some of the biggest brands. And it's just built me up as a person as well, because I've been able to discuss issues which I feel go on within our industry, talk about things, help others, and grow my own personal plumbing business, which has been very important to me, because it's like my baby. It's like something which I've invested my time in so much. But even though it's not totally taken off like it has for other people in comparison, I've been consistent. I've not given up on myself. And that's something that I wanted to do. And balancing the time with life, having a relationship, doing stuff what normal people do, while still maintaining to do something which I enjoy, which is making content. I've continued on this journey, and I will continue on this journey, but I think it's opened up my eyes to a lot of things which I was not comfortable with, and I've been coping with it, you know. But I think it's a good time for me to start talking about why I started, innit? And why I started was, as a plumber, paying for advertisement and advertising yourself is self-promotion. I kind of clocked that years ago, but I realized there wasn't a lot of people doing the same thing what I was doing. And again, being in that small niche, I realized that people only need my services when they need something, you know? And making sure that I've got enough content to be able to provide for the time has been a struggle, because I've had 9-to-5 jobs. I've had shift jobs. I've had jobs where I am the site supervisor. I'm the lead engineer on the site. So how could I just be in the corner just making some video? Do you get it? And it's just stopped me from doing that. But the stage where I'm at today is where I kind of try to encourage as much people to do that as possible, because the avenues what social media gives you they're crazy, you know. At some point I feel as if I will be doing more social media stuff than what I'll actually be doing plumbing. Even though I really enjoy it, I feel that my life experience within the industry, and I've been a qualified plumber for over 21 years, the things what I know are very valuable, and I've had to realize that for myself, whether it's having a job, having the same trade for that amount of time, whether it's the do's and the don'ts, understanding the types of people who we get within this industry, talking about them and normalizing certain things which seems as weird sometimes. You know, like dealing with micro aggression from people, dealing with small man syndrome, dealing with people who judge you by this instead of judging you by your achievements. It's something that I've went through, which I know that others will. So people use YouTube as one of the biggest search engines now for everything. And I've been a person who's done the same. I've went to some jobs and I had a programmer. I didn't really know how to work it, but I watched a YouTube video and I worked out how to work it. Saves me so much time, you know, and I'm never ashamed to admit that I don't know everything when it comes to plumbing. But I try to read. I try to keep up to date. I try to understand what's going on in my industry so I could be more resourceful and be more of an asset. And some people respect that, and there's others who are the quiet tradespeople. And people respect them as well. But I understand in this world, you can't please everybody. You're always going to have someone who critiques your work, and critiquing and criticism definitely comes at a cost for all of us, because we look at these things differently. Some of us will get really worked up about comments what people will leave on your work. And others will battle back with these types of individuals. When I've said to myself a few times, why would I argue with someone who I don't know? You know, I laugh about it now, but there's been times when I've been frustrated, annoyed, felt disrespected, and wanted to say something which was possibly out of tone of my vibe. But people pull you to do that. And that's just a part of social media, which you've got to get over, understand, and kind of respect, because opinions are subjective. And I've realized that through the years of watching, listening, understanding, and realizing what my calling was when it came to social. And I think my calling is mainly to help. It's mainly to show people that you can do something, but also supply people with the reality and the truth. The reality and the truth is that there are not many successful plumbers. And even if they were successful, they're not coming onto the internet and telling other people how to be successful. People pay you for your knowledge, and others kind of sometimes can exploit you for that as well. So there's a fine line, you know, and I get that everybody doesn't do this job with the intentions to be able to help others or to be able to, you know, inspire the next generation. That's always been my vibe. I've been doing that since I first started, even as a lecturer. You know, I've had many jobs as a plumber. I've been a plumber, I've been an apprentice. I should have said apprentice first, but I've been an apprentice first. I've been a qualified plumber at a university. I've worked at hospitals. I've also worked at data centers. I've also worked at corporate banks. I've worked in so many different environments, countless amounts of properties, small properties. I've worked for billionaires. I've worked for pretty much most different environments, let's just say, because I could just keep listing them. It gets a bit boring after a while. And I've learned a lot of things by studying other people, looking at them, realizing what type of content would make more sense, what would help. Because help is a big part of my content. Like, I want to help others like others have helped me. I've had some great, and I have got some great friends who are on social media who have helped me be in documentaries, collaborations. You know, who would have thought when I first started that I would ever be in a documentary for British Airways? Definitely not. Who would have thought that I would have been a model on Amazon, and my face is on Amazon, and anyone all over the world can see that, even as a plumber? No. Who would have thought I would have been a main model for a US tool brand? No. But that is the case. So it's opened my eyes in different ways. And if this video has inspired you in any type of way to start your own YouTube journey or to start content and filming it, my advice would always be just start recording. Just start recording. You never know where this journey could take you. I have procrastinated on some of my journey just because I felt like I wasn't ready. I felt like I'm not ready to be exposed to the world and all the critiquing and this and that. Because the internet sometimes can not be a nice place, but it can be a wonderful place as well. So with that, if you've stayed around this long, you might as well subscribe to the channel, because you now know what the channel is all going to be about. And if it sounds like a bit of you, grab yourself a cup of tea, subscribe, like and share, and look out for the new posts. Definitely put on your notification bells, because I drop content.